Hi folks, I want to do a review on the tobacco I'm smoking. I'm smoking in the Shire, Cobbett, and it's United Passion Dockworker by Hugh Tobacco's United Passion Dockworker Flake. If I just show you the flake. It's Burley, Oriental, Virginia. So you can see the Orientals in there, you can see the Burley and the Virginia. It's a remarkable smoke, a lovely smoke. It's quite strong. It's a bit tart and spicy and smoky. But if you smoke it slowly, there's a sweet taste about it. It's very complicated smoke in many ways because there's sort of different tastes in there that it reminds me a bit of toasted bread maybe. It won't gurgle, and it doesn't bite the tongue unless you really smoke it heavy, fast. And you really don't need to do that because of the strength of the tobacco. It's really a smoke to think about, to take slowly, to meditate with. It packs easily into the pipe. The flakes are very fragile, so it's sometimes difficult to lift them out of the tin as a whole flake. You can see that's almost coming apart. But it packs very well. And once you light it, and allow the first light to go out and then smooth it off with a tamper, it usually stays light all the way through and burns to a lovely grey ash. It's a good open air smoke. And it would be a good smoke to smoke with 2 or 3 people. The Burley and the Orientals are up front, but they're not overpowering. There's that sweetness of the Virginia there, the spiciness of the Orientals, of course, the strength of a Burley. It's a tobacco that I've grown really to like, and it's one that I intend to keep getting regularly from Germany. Hue Tobaccos do some remarkable blends. I've got sort of several of their blends now, and I've yet to find one that I don't like. The retrohale is quite pleasant, as long as you don't sort of take a whole, as long as you're not smoking it too heavily. It's meant to be sipped. It's meant to be appreciated like a fine wine. It really is a good blend. It's one that I'd recommend to you if you can get it. Most of the German tobacconists sell it, and at the moment it's available online. I don't think they send to the States, but if anybody particularly wanted to try it, perhaps we could come to some arrangement that you could order it, send it to me, and I could post it on. The tin art's very good. Of course, it's spoilt by the health warning, but that's the same on all the tobaccos now. But you can see normally when I talk and take the smoke pipe away from my mouth, they normally go out because I'm talking too much. But this doesn't. I have to be careful because I get carried away smoking it and forget to talk. When you open the tin, it's got sort of a plummy scent, but not overpowering. I keep saying not overpowering, but it is a strong tobacco, a strong taste. It's not what I would call, sometimes you get a nice light, mellow smoke. Well, this is strong and mellow. But amongst that mellowness at the back of the tongue, there's the Orientals and the slightly, I was going to say sour taste, but it's not sour. It's, or at least I don't think of it as sour. But there's all sorts of things going on as you smoke it. There's the taste that's in the smoke itself, and then the taste that's in the saliva, the residue on the tongue and that kind of thing. So you've got several things going on at once. There's no latakia in it, or at least I haven't detected any. And it certainly couldn't be classed as an English blend. It's very much a German blend. And they're blends that I'm becoming to like. They tend to be stronger tobacco in the ones that I've smoked. I haven't smoked any of their aromatic. Well, I have smoked one of their aromatics. And again, the aromatic has differences about it that's good. I might do a review on that at another time. I can imagine a working man smoking this pipe, this tobacco, being a bit like a codger blend. But of course, over here we don't have codger blends in the same way because all our tobaccos are roughly the same prices. Now, having said about it not going out, it's beginning to. But even if it goes out and you leave it for a while, you can come back and there's no nastiness when you relight it. You're back into the taste, the smoke, the combination of flavours. The Virginia is very low key to me. The Burleys and Orientals are very much to the front. Anyway, I'm going to probably end the review there because I want to put up another. Well, no, I'll go on with this one and just ramble for a bit. I've had one test to check from the throat down to the small bowel. I had a barium meal rather than the camera put down because the last time I had a camera down, I had a really bad experience of it and told the specialist I wasn't going to have it again. So he said, well, we'll give you a barium meal. If we find anything, then you have to have the camera down. Well, I don't think they found anything because I haven't heard anything yet, but I won't know until I go back to the specialist. But on Monday afternoon at about 3 o'clock, I'm having a colonoscopy, the camera stuck up the back passage. So from tomorrow on, I've got to adjust what I eat. Then I've got to start taking laxatives. And then I've got to take the main laxative on Sunday afternoon, evening, and another litre of it in the morning of Monday from about 6 o'clock. And that will really clean out the area that they're going to look at. I'm lucky in that I'm not being given an injection at all to relax me or to put me into twilight sleep. I'll be having this done straight. If I need to they will have some gas and air available if I need to take it. But it means that I'll be wide awake all the way through, and I can watch the video on the screen and have a look and see what's up there. So far, I'm not worried about having it done, but I would appreciate your thoughts and, that things go well. If they do find anything, I will know straight away. I will know at the end of the examination. I'll be taken to get a cup of tea, and then the specialist will come round who does the filming, and he will tell me if they've found anything. And if they have, then it depends what they've found as to what happens next. That they believe that I'm bleeding from somewhere inside because I keep going anemic. I'm not too sure myself. I think there's something wrong a bit further in with some of my organs, maybe the spleen. But we'll have to see. We'll see how it goes. Well, that's 17, nearly 18 minutes, so I'll draw to a close. May you all be richly blessed. May each day increase your wisdom and your strength and your love. And may all the bad things that happen to you, may you be made aware that they don't last forever. And you'll look back and wonder why you were worried at the time, why you were distressed by what's happening. It's the good things that we hold on to and that we look at. A friend of mine who's a Hindu, I've said this before, he refuses to watch the news, he refuses to watch anything that's violent or that is distressing, because he says when we do that, it has an effect on us that we don't necessarily know how to control. So he prefers to feed his mind with what's good. And that reminded me of the story of the two wolves. I think it's a Native American story, but that might be not so. But the mother was talking to her son, and said, or the grandmother, and said, within each other of us there are two wolves, one evil and one good. The evil wolf is full of anger, full of wickedness and nastiness and all the things that we consider negative. And the good wolf is full of love, of compassion, of all those things that we hold dear. But it depends which wolf we feed as to which one thrives. And it really is worth remembering that if we do have a propensity to anger, to be quick off the mark, or to be cynical. The number of people I see who are cynical, especially over silly things, who think the worst. somebody. So may you be blessed enough to recognise that good wolf within you, and to feed that good wolf, and to starve the evil wolf. And gradually you'll find more and more that the good wolf becomes the stronger, the dominant, the wolf that's always there for you, that runs your life. Those good things come out. This is a true story rather than a joke. It's about when my father died. He was taken to the hospital. He died at home, and that was quite distressing for all of us because he died of a heart attack, which he induced himself because he had a motor neuron disease and he didn't want to live with that. So whilst he was having the heart attack, he held my mother away from the phone in one hand, held her up off the floor so she couldn't get to the phone until his heart was so weak that he couldn't hold her up anymore. When he died and the funeral director came, they took him to the coroner's store in the hospital. But my mother was sort of distressed and didn't quite know what the arrangements were until the hospital rang her and said, "Mrs. Waters, we've still got your husband here in the mortuary. Have you contacted a funeral director? Is anybody coming to collect him?" So at that she panicked and she rang what she thought was the funeral director. And the phone was answered. And she said very quickly, "Could you collect my husband's body, please?" And the man on the end of the phone, very puzzled, said, "Pardon?" She said, "Well, I want you to take care of things. Could you collect my husband's body from the mortuary? You'll know what to do with it." And he said, "Madam, we're Weedgemans, the butchers." She'd rung the butchers by mistake. I mean, anybody can do it. It's one of those things that happens. I mean, they would have known what to do with him. They made marvellous pork pies.